Welcome to Decades of Horror, the classic era.
Do you understand what this means? These things want flesh, any kind of flesh. And once they sense it, they leak their way through anything that comes between them and their meat.
This is episode 229, recording May 3rd, 2026, and reviewing The Flesh Eaters from 1964.
Gruesome magazine.
I'm
not the bad guy.
And they are meat. I am your host, Jeff Moore. On this podcast, we cover the good, the bad, maybe even the ugly horror films released since the beginning of time through 1969. And we'll find out which one this is. In each episode, we'll discuss the monster spirits, psychos, and villains that have haunted movie-going audiences since the dawn of film history. With me this week are my incredible co-ghosts. First up is Daphne, who is awesome, stupendous, and likable as hell. How you doing, Daphne?
Hi, guys. I'm doing great.
That's excellent. And in case anybody's wondering how Bill magically switched down to the bottom left, I said magically. Also with us is Bill Mulligan, writer, director, special effects guru, published author, all-around nice guy. How you doing, Bill? There's his book.
Magically delicious. That's how I am.
Magically delicious. You must have those little marshmallows embedded somewhere. All right. Also joining us is Chad Hunt, co-host on Decades of Horror, the all of them.
Go with that.
A film producer and director with Wreak Havoc Production, and a comic book artist and writer. How you doing, Chad?
Well, I don't have anything embedded in me, if that's what you mean.
I almost wore my creature shirt today, but I didn't. I wore my Loon Rebel Alliance shirt. And finally, Doc Rotten, the OG.
Can you be twins?
From Horror News Radio, founder of Gruesome magazine. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
This was a fun first watch way back in the day.
Yeah.
Looking forward to talking about it.
All right. Well, that's us. And we also partner with Play Now Media on several of their channels. The Decades of Horror, the classic era, is on the classic sci-fi movie channel, the classic horror movie channel, and the Wicked Horror TV channel. And I am really excited because we used to we would update our episodes like every 6 weeks or 2 months, and our benefactor at Play Now Media did some electromagic stuff behind the scenes, and now all he has to do is push a button and they'll go up.
Nice.
Or before he had to do a whole bunch of shenanigans. So
magic button.
I'm so happy. So the Boogeyman Will Get You just went live yesterday, and it is up on Play Now Media.
Nice.
But go check them out. They've got a lot of good stuff. You can you get them with
nice.
You can just go there. You don't have to sign in or anything. You just can watch them with ads. You'll miss some of the premium content, or you could subscribe and no ads and all the premium content. So that's your choice. And they have I don't know, he told me over 100, but I'm just going to say like 50. If you go to playnowmedia.com, you can see all their channels and check them all out. Really. Okay.
And if you're catching us on those channels right now, thank you for watching.
Yeah,
thank you for watching.
We appreciate it.
We hope you're enjoying them. Sorry, dude.
No, that's good. This is good. Spoiler alert. Yeah, we're going to spoil this 62-year-old movie. It's actually 64 years old, but it didn't come out till 62 years ago. All right. I don't know. I'm just I'm trying to stay on track. I really am. But we're going to spoil it. So if you haven't seen this movie, you should go watch it. It's out there. It's available. Check it out. I'm trying to remember all the places that it was on.
Most of the freebie stuff.
Yeah.
I watched it on
Tubi. Yeah.
It's on Tubi, Fossum, Pluto TV, Plex, and also AMC Plus.
Yep. The Tubi one was decent. I liked it.
All right.
It was good. Good quality.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. So on this podcast, we start by giving a few details of the film we're covering, and then each of our first impressions. and then we'll move into take a look at each of the characters and some of the marketing and the cast and crew, etc. So hang with us, and then we'll end with some feedback once I copy it over while you guys are talking. All right. I'll cut that.
No, you won't.
Our topic today is The Flesh Eaters from 1964. And I just love this shot, and I had to work to get it to fit it in there. But directed by Jack Curtis, written by Art Drake. The cast includes Martin Kozlek, Byron Sanders, Barbara Wilkin, Rita Morley. Production company is Vulcan Productions, Inc. It was filmed on Long Island, in Montauk, Long Island, in the Hamptons. Filming dates 1960 to 62. Release date March 18th, 1964 in Phoenix. And the synopsis: an alcoholic actress, her personal assistant, and their pilot are downed on a secluded isle by bad weather. Actually, it was motor problems too, where a renegade Nazi scientist is using ocean life to develop a solvent, human flesh. The tiny flesh-eating sea critters that result give our heroes a run for their money and their lives. Something like that.
Sounds good to me.
She just stuck her hand in the black goo there. I think that's Barbara Wilkins. And she's like, what is this? Anyway, moving to first impressions. This is Mr. Bill Mullen, and we're going to start with him.
Well, I first heard about this film from a cover of Famous Monsters. I think I have a graphic of it. It was pretty cool and kind of neat looking. And then I found out it's like from 1964. So how gory could it possibly be? Still a valid question, but unexpectedly gory. It finally showed up late at night, and I watched it, and I'm like, well, this is pretty cheap, but I was really getting into it. It's like, the dialogue's a little snappier than usual. I know why. The monsters, when they first show up, I knew that one right away because we'd seen Star Wars and we didn't have the technology to do lightsabers. Adobe After Effects was just not existent. So we would literally whack each other with sticks and then go over with an X-Acto blade and scratch the emulsion on the back of the Super 8. And Super 8 was pretty tiny, so you really needed the good eyes of youth to pull this off and make it look halfway good. And it didn't get anywhere near halfway good. So I'm like, this is really cheap. But I was enjoying it. And then the unexpected amounts of gore. And I don't know. I think whoever put this on late night TV did not bother looking at it before they did it, because they figured 1964, there's nothing to edit out. So it was, as I remember it, it was uncut. And I was pretty amazed. And then, suddenly a monster shows up, a legit, pretty cool giant monster. So I said, this has got everything I love. Evil Nazi villains, monsters, a little bit of blood. I was like, oh, I have very fond memories of this movie, and watching it again now, I still do. And now I appreciate, I was a little surprised going back to find out a lot of the people who worked on this movie, this is it. This is their one movie. And that kind of shocks me because it's better than it has any reason to be. I'm surprised they didn't go on to do more. It's got good cinematography, good editing. It's got at least one actor that went on to other things. So, I think this is a little undiscovered gem. I mean, is it great? No, it's not great. They're poking holes in the film to simulate little electric monsters, but it's good. It's good. Now, watching it now, knowing who wrote it and everything, I realize this was written by a comic book guy. It's got that efficiency, good dialogue, pretty good characters, actually, way better than usual. It's kind of like Attack of the Crab Monsters, but I think better written, and I like the guy who wrote Attack of the Crab Monsters. It's got that men's magazine mentality, which would have been a thing at that time, at the time this came out. Weasels Rip My Flesh, those men's magazines with the great covers. this just feels like trapped on an island of carnivorous microbes with a mad Nazi scientist. Like, well, I'm gonna read that. That sounds like a
Heck
ripping
yeah.
yarn. Yeah. So I enjoyed it, and I'm interested to see if anyone else got a kick out of it too, or if this is just nostalgia talking here.
Okie dokie. Well, thank you so much, Bill. And next up, Chad Hunt. Had you seen this before?
No, I had not. I had almost picked it once before for one of my picks, and I watched the first 10 minutes of it, maybe with the one couple on the boat. And then the title sequence comes up, and I said, well, I'm not going to be responsible for picking another stinker.
And the music? And the music?
Yeah. And so I decided to bypass it. So when it came up again, I was like, oh boy. And but I was pleasantly surprised that I ended up liking it as much as I did. Because, it went past those two characters and got into the main story. I really dug the story. It had a comic booky feel to it, even. And I love the characters, but I was like, which one of them are going to die? These guys who's going to die? Who are we going to get to see their flesh eaten? Unfortunately, they had a couple of extra characters float in from nowhere, out of nowhere. Then we got to see them
Yes.
be the ones get eaten. But
Literally.
but I love the characters, and I loved. Usually, these kind of films don't get into character development that much. If it's the older cheesy B flicks, you just had your archetypes, and this one, you got to know a little bit about the captain. You knew the actress had an alcohol problem, that kind of thing, and even the Nazi experiment guy, you knew a little bit about all the characters. So I kind of like that, and the monster I thought was kind of cool, even though we didn't get to see it munch out as much as I would have liked. It was still a cool idea, and especially the giant one at the end.
Yeah.
I really, it was cheesy looking, but I liked it a lot. I liked the tentacles that came off of it and everything.
Soap bubbles around it.
Yeah, it was just,
Bubbles, yeah.
yeah. It was great. And I really, really enjoyed watching it. So if you're running across this and judging it by the first 10 minutes, don't just keep watching it, and it does get better.
Okay. Thank you, Chad. Next up is
Me.
the Doctor.
Yeah, I think I saw this the same time Bill did, late at night on TV. I hadn't realized that this was that cover from Famous Monsters. When I saw it, didn't really put that together. And I was floored by how fun the movie was at, I think it was 10 or 12 years old, maybe, when I finally saw it. And yeah, it was uncut. So even though it had, the silly effects for the little microbes, they were effective enough for my age at that time. And I really, some of the deaths are a lot of fun, especially Omar and the captain guy that comes to later in the film to give them supplies or something. So I had a great time then, and it stuck with me as a kind of like this forgotten favorite all along, and I've always thought of it fondly. So I'm glad we finally picked it, and it held up. It held up marvelously. It is the simplicity of how it deals with the effects and stuff is actually charming somehow. And the characters, they're I don't think they're really like cliche, but they're like, I think like out of a comic book. They were just a character out of a comic book, the pilot, you know, and the actors who just kind of washed up and drunk, you know, and they stayed to these characters throughout the film. And the beatnik, Omar the beatnik. Yeah, I love this film. This is a fave.
Yeah, excellent. And Daphne, how about you?
You
Have
know,
you heard of this before or seen it or?
it's a great title. I hadn't heard of it, and I really, really liked it. You guys kind of mentioned the cinematography, and that's what struck me at first. And now, knowing about the comic book connection, that explains a lot, gives language to what I was feeling, and it really explains the intentionality that I was picking up on. It's a great example of visual language creating atmosphere, and I love that stuff. So that was really awesome. And there was I'm sure we'll talk about some of the spots or the specific shots, but the shot in the beginning with the young couple, when the girl starts falling into the ocean, I really thought that was a really beautiful scene. And it reminded me, I think maybe of a scene in Dementia 13, but it's been a long time since I've seen that. I've been meaning to watch it. But it definitely connected me with Shelley Winter's character in Night of the Hunter.
Oh, wow.
And, that just the scene in the water where she's, just that slow kind of beautiful art kind of thing that I always find interesting. And then I also really liked how, the desolateness of it and how that kind of added to the atmosphere, just the brightness and the beach and the ocean, and that's it. And you could just really kind of get the isolation and dread from that. So those were like visually things that really got my attention. I'm sure we'll talk a couple more shots and storyboarding and how that may have played into that. Like you guys said, the gore, a lot of it, I loved it. It was so cool. That leg, when they start cutting into that leg, I was like, but it was wonderful. And it just made me think also about with it, when it's like that overt, it just really made me think about how different it is in black and white. And how like later on the color would just like be pushed to the limit. And then, so I thought that was really interesting. And, we've talked about Nazi stuff, and I guess I got the version I watched. I understand now from looking at the notes, later on they put more footage in. So a bunch of Nazi footage in, and I didn't see that. But there's all these references to the villain being a Nazi, but in the version I saw, the villain isn't a Nazi. He's an American government agent. He kind of stole from the Nazis and used it to create money. I mean, he's an American villain. And I just thought that was really interesting, even when I was watching it, because they also reference the war, and we fought Nazis, but it was okay to kind of take on the findings that they had and use it as a potential war weapon. So that kind of thing caught my attention. And I've just lately been seeing kind of like a through line with a lot of the older movies that kind of have some examples of how horror and genre movies talk about the stuff that maybe isn't really talked about very straightforwardly. Anyway, so I thought it was really great. I loved it, and I can't wait to talk with you guys about it.
Nice.
Excellent. I've known about this movie, but I kind of put it off watching it because it was, they couldn't even be bothered to do like a full color poster. The original poster was black and white. Anyway, but Scream Factory had one of their going out of print or 50% off or something. So I picked it up.
Of course.
And I think
you don't have to explain it.
They were selling it. Well, I'm making sure that I'm never mind. There's some things although I did just order this is probably better for 80s, but I just ordered the 4K of Threads, the British movie that's coming out in 2 weeks from somebody.
Cheerful stuff.
Anyway, connections. My brain works in connection. I like this a lot. I was completely surprised by almost every aspect of it. I expected something really cheesy, something along the lines of Herschell Gordon Lewis, or Fred Ellen Ray in the end. Here's one of the troubles on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray has the full release, I guess, originally, I think, but it's not. He's still a German scientist. So I don't know why. That's interesting what Daphne ran into. They have an alternate track that has the one with the Nazi footage in it, that a guy named Michael Ripp, who I can't figure out who he is because he's not listed anywhere on the credits, but he added this footage. They're in the commentary on that track, it has Fred Olen Ray is sort of the host, and then Tom Weaver and Arnold Drake are on the commentary. And it's very interesting, I thought. But the problem is you can't, when you're hearing the commentary, the sound's turned off and there's no closed captions on that track. So it was hard for me I couldn't quite figure out what they cut, because that version with the Nazi footage is half a minute shorter than the other version, but the Nazi footage is 3 minutes long. So I didn't quite get a handle on what was different about it. And then they have a bunch of storyboards that Arnold Drake made, which are awesome. And that's obviously how they shot the thing. You could see the shots, and it was well framed, just like a comic book, right? I mean, we'll get into that. So, and I thought the effects were weird enough that I didn't look at them and go, well, those are cheesy. They were just so weird. I thought, oh, wow, that's different. And I was just trying to see, what the hell is that? That little flickering, it looked like a flickering, shimmering thing, we find out what they did. So, and I thought the acting was pretty good. Agreed. So anyway, I enjoyed the hell out of it. So thanks for picking that, Bill.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad everybody liked it.
So I think we're going to move right into the characters here. Doc, you want to take over?
Sure. Here's Professor Professor Peter Bartel, played by Martin Kozlek. I wrote down the one that you and I saw, Daphne. Former U.S. government agent sent to Nazi Germany during World War II to steal scientific secrets.
Which would have been a more interesting.
Yeah, I think he said he was like a lowly biochemist on this project, and when they destroyed everything, he saved some of it. Was that?
Well, I heard that he was sent there. I think he may have been a lonely bio, but in the one I watched, he was sent there specifically to learn about these things.
I might have got mixed up because of watching the two versions too. So.
I mean, he looks like Joseph Goebbels, and he sounds like a Nazi, so it's a perfectly reasonable
he has the German accent, so it's. I just thought it was interesting that it wasn't. And I got to say, he looks like Uber. Who's the guy? Uber Kier.
Oh yeah,
Udo Kier.
Udo Kier. Yeah, now that's a nicer thing to say.
Yeah. Yes.
I love Udo Kier.
Now, in fairness, he did portray Joseph Goebbels 5 times. I don't think he ever played Udo Kier. So.
Yes, I like this.
Yeah,
this character is great because they show us how conniving he is right away, because he says things to the people and then he goes and does something entirely different,
And
he's
the way
awful, but he's not stupid. And he has, I think, my favorite line in the movie where he's like, he's talking about, I'm going to take this, I'm going to offer it to all the countries of the world, a super weapon. He goes, of course, I will let the U.S. bid on it too. I'm a patriot, but if someone offers me more money, I'm not a super patriot.
That was funny.
Wow, that's great. That's
I'm not
awesome.
Yeah, I did hear that. That does kind of make more sense.
And I like the what we're talking about with the storyboarding. I felt like they really did a lot of lighting, or I don't know, with him to give him like a villainous look. A lot of the almost like a caricature, but not like so over the top. But it really explained a lot when I learned about the comic stuff, because yeah, it's almost like it came gray and zoomed in on his face, and you saw all the little dark, evil.
He's like my favorite kind of villain who is trying to be charming but can't help but be menacing. He's smiling at you, but it's like, yikes.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, he's sus from the very get-go, isn't he?
He's really good at this. We'll talk about that when we get to the actor. But this, you can't trust a thing he says.
Oh,
I love how he was introduced too, just kind of in the scuba set.
Yeah.
Just kind of walking around.
Yeah, he's walking up like when you have flippers on, you cannot do a menacing walk. I don't care who you are. You're just, you're like a frog that learned to walk on his back legs, kind of.
He doesn't bother taking his face mask off either until he's right up there.
Yeah.
He doesn't come out of the water, take his mask off so you can see him.
Oh, with a face like this, that might be a good idea.
No,
scary.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
He's
a great actor.
Yes.
And he found his niche, and it was a great niche to have in the 50s and 60s.
I just like the way the wind blew through his hair.
There you go. Oh my.
That is a very thoughtful look on his face too, and the wind's blowing through his hair.
I like that he had all these crazy gadgets on this remote island, like the big solar battery that looked like
my god.
Right. Oh my god. How'd that get there?
From where?
While staying in a tent. Yeah.
As one does when you're studying shellfish.
I guess, wow. But he had a colleague, right?
I'm just gonna throw this in there quick. This is the solar battery.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at that. That's
now I'm sure it was a a playtime construction block or something that was, but they were standing right next to it. It didn't look rear projection or I don't know.
No, it looked cool. It looked like a B movie.
Doesn't look like a solar bank.
No.
For perspective purposes, I think the normal human's head came up to the little box in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
But it was huge. Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyway, all right.
All right, moving
Val
on.
Kilmer.
Stop it. Byron Sanders. No, it was Grant Murdoch. Financially struggling, cynical, and suspicious private charter pilot who takes a dangerous job during a storm.
Financially struggling, cynical, and suspicious. I like it.
Yeah.
He's kind of a film noirish character.
That's right.
A war vet who has come back trying to make a go of it and is a little bit down on his luck. He's lived a life of danger, so he's willing to take dangerous assignments to try to get the mob off his back or whoever it is he owes money to. Maybe it's the bank, same difference.
Was that his wife that was answering the radio there in that one scene?
I don't
know. I get the feeling it was maybe an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. They were hinting at a connection, which I thought was a brilliant.
Well, she calls him big lug,
big lug. Which again, film noir, right?
She gave him the stink eyes. He was leaving. So.
Yeah, she did. But anyway. That was a good way to build a character early on. Just having that.
Show don't tell.
His introduction is great because when they start off, they holler at this kind of sloppy, overweight guy down on the water's edge.
Yeah.
I'd love to fly you somewhere, baby, but you better ask the pilot.
Otis got game.
Pretty much.
I like the part where he pulled the middle crystal out and Jor-El started talking to it.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was ahead of its time for sure.
Yeah.
He does have that look. He's got that lantern-jawed superhero.
Yeah, he looks familiar. So I looked him up, and it's like he was on a bunch of soap operas I never watched. So it's like,
oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they missed a bet. This guy should have been in lots of B movies. He's got a good good style, good delivery.
Well,
I
this
feel
guy
like
is.
if you looked up chiseled jaw in the dictionary, his face would be in there.
Yeah,
Because
there you
it
go.
was like a little over the top with the chiseled jaw.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's several shots angles that accentuate that too.
Yeah.
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 I really loved the shot of him. There was a profile shot. It was the profile that the actress said never shoot him by. But
Yeah,
it was
we
great. And then in the background you see two characters walking on the beach.
Oh, that's
They
a
were,
great
you know,
shot.
tiny little, but it was a great. Yeah, it was,
I think I
We
found
got that
that.
later. We got that
Yeah.
later. too.
Yeah,
There's a
that
lot
was
of
that was a
good
comic book shot.
setups here.
Yeah.
Which again is why did this guy not direct a whole bunch of things?
Yeah.
Or say, well, maybe it was the cinematographer. Look up the cinematographer. Is like, no.
That's him.
The only one who I can say, and this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, the only filmmaker that really stood out to me was the editor. And that could explain why it's as good as it is, but I don't think the editor is going to be standing over the shoulder saying, hey, do this shot and everything.
Well, the director is a cinematographer under a different name.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
Not a
actually,
lot of stuff.
actually, there's a.
Actually.
So this is Arnold Drake on the commentary. There is an actual Carson Davidson, and he was nominated for 2 Oscars for documentary short subjects in 65 and 56. But he started shooting this, and Arnold Drake said we didn't keep any of the footage. It didn't work out. And that's when Jack Curtis took over.
And you just kept the name.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what there was some kind of legal thing or if it had to do with
They moved the tombstones, but they kept the bodies.
well, I think they tried to do it union too, I think so.
Ooh, well, good for them.
So anyway, yeah, Jack Curtis got a great eye, so we'll talk about that again later too.
Yeah.
Up next is Barbara Wilkin as Jan Letterman. She's a sensible, practical, and capable personal assistant to the alcoholic actress Laura Winters, who hires Murdoch's charter. I liked her character, and I liked that she had the attraction to Murdoch. It was
Well, the options are pretty limited on this island, so.
But it's a stereotypical thing for a movie to have that come up.
Drunks,
Right.
Nazis, or the guy with the chiseled jaw. I mean,
Yeah,
she made the logical choice.
saved her life.
And the beatnik.
Oh, that's right.
No, that's not even in the running. Oh my God,
Everything
that
is
guy.
loving.
Come on, no love for Omar.
I've never seen a comedy relief character I wanted to see die so much as this one.
No, same here. I hated that
I
guy.
loved him.
He was the
I thought he
scrappy do of the movie.
I thought he added so much. I loved it.
I was confused why he was there, but I thought I enjoyed him. Yeah.
She is
the best
great,
guy.
I think.
Yeah.
I love this character because she's like the secretary
Mm-hmm.
and so or assistant, so she has to do what this woman tells her, but she still stands up for what she, it's
Right.
kind of like, yeah, I'm not gonna bring that suitcase full of booze back from the plane.
Yeah. No
Even
good
though-
will come of this.
She is secretly in charge.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. They have I like how they established that kind of natural relationship. You really quickly knew kind of what was going on and the relationship and who took care of who and
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you get a strong sense that she knew what position she was in and how to use it the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost get the impression that nobody else could really handle this chick.
Right. Right. But I
Unless
felt
she knew what she knew.
but it didn't feel like she was manipulating her. It was more of just like I thought anyways, it's like almost like an actual caring for
protector.
her, looking out for protecting her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she knew what to do, and then she stuck up for her and could kind of understand her a little bit. I thought it was nice.
A really nice character.
Mhm.
And since we're talking about the drunk alcohol,
Her boss.
her boss, Rita Morley as Laura Winters, or do I have that backward? I feel like I have that backwards.
Rita
That's correct.
Oh, it is correct.
The actress's name is Rita Morley.
And she was
All right.
really good too. I mean,
I thought so. Yeah.
the character. I love the character.
Yeah.
Um, whenever you have a character with a flaw like that, and it's not secretive, and and it's out in the open, and it becomes it doesn't define her as a character, but it's an interesting flaw for her to have as a character, if that makes sense. Because she was amazing.
The character really helped define the other characters too, especially our other lead. But at the same time, she was on top of it, even when she was. I mean, she knew that something was up, but she, when she woke up with the thing in her, the rope in her hand, but there was nothing she could do because she knew what the opinion of her was as well.
She totally fooled me too, because I'm watching this, and when she goes back into the tent and realizes that Bartell fakes him out so that they think that he kills it with this 10,000 volts. It goes dead at first, but apparently it does that for a certain period of time, and then they come back alive and get bigger and bigger. I don't know.
Roughly an hour.
Something like that. And then so she goes back and realizes that and sees that thing rising. And then the next thing she does, she turns around in the mirror and starts putting on lipstick and perfume and brushing her hair. And I'm like, what kind of response is that? But true to character, she went out and tried to kiss up to Bartell because she figured out he was, there was stuff going on that the other ones didn't know. And so she wanted to be part of that, I think.
She wanted to survive.
Yes.
Yep. Didn't do her any good though. But then she came, rushing later to help save. Didn't help, but she did.
And that was that great scene with her hand coming out of the
dirt. That was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
He stabs her in the middle of the kiss. And I'm going to say, I said this offline, but on the Blu-ray, I'm telling you, she and Bartell's kiss, and when their lips part on the Blu-ray, I swear you can hear a. And I'm like, is somebody having fun there? I rewound it twice, and it's perfectly timed. So I don't know.
That's very funny.
You guys said you didn't hear it. I'll have to check some of my
No, that's hysterical.
Sources.
I'm guessing someone was having fun, but she's a great character.
Yeah.
Because she initially think, unlikable, first to die, and no, I mean, she's got her issues, she's got her demons.
She went out a hero.
That she did.
Yeah,
she came out here unrealistically stabbed, buried alive, and then comes back fresh as a daisy, coming at him like Jason 7, and okay.
Well, I don't know if she was fresh as a daisy.
Well,
but that's also
she dug
very
herself out of the
It was all downhill, so she just had to fall.
Yeah. I mean, she was about as effective as I would be, and I have not been stabbed or buried alive. So I'm giving her mad props here.
And what a line! "You'll die first, Bartell," or whatever she said.
It was a comic book moment, right, Chad?
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's what happens in comic books.
Yeah, you bury somebody, you always see the hand come up out of the.
It's the first time the double tap lesson was on screen.
Yeah.
No, it's not, but
probably not, but it was.
Well, early.
He stabs her, buries her in the sand, puts a couple of light shrub branches over her. And as he's walking away, already you see the hand coming up.
Yeah, she wasn't going to have any of that.
And those, you're right. If you look at the scene, the framing on the scenes, they're all comic book frames. You could just picture the dialogue.
Yeah.
The balloons. Yeah.
You guys all can I just say one other thing about Laura? Is we all kind of you all talked about it a little bit, but I feel like she really did do a good job as an actor for this character to be believable in the sense that
she did.
That she was kind of torn, because it seems perfectly within the personality that she creates for her to have remorse, and believe that she could let the airplane go. She was capable of doing that, and she was remorseful, but yet, wanting to survive and willing to, go to the other side if needed. It just, they both seemed really believable in this character. And I thought that was really, really cool. And I also liked how she the character was kind of classist in the sense of like, she loved, you could tell she respected and needed the assistant, but also was like, had no problem kind of like using her power over her, even if it didn't really work, because the lady was like, yeah, that's not going to work. But I just thought she was not necessarily a trope or a stereotype. I mean, maybe she was a little bit, but I felt like she handled it really well.
It
was really good.
There's more to her than the trope, and she does it. It's easy to do that sort of, how do I want to say that, over melodramatic, overblown character like that, and be bad. And she does a pretty good job of.
Well, you see the humanity behind her.
Yeah,
she's a human being.
Yeah,
she's not just a stereotype or she brings that out a lot. I thought.
Yeah, all the characters are, well, except maybe one.
Jerry Lewis as Omar.
Hey, lady.
Okay, you guys already said you didn't like this guy, but to me, I love this guy. I love when this guy shows up.
There's a hole in my stomach.
Yeah, here's this smoking thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't it kind of smoking the drink? I don't know.
And that was a horrible way to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just like,
And
Yes.
But boy, was this guy annoying. What do you keep calling? There was some word he used to describe things.
Love.
Yeah, everything was love. It's all about love, man. And
Love,
kooky.
but then-
Kooky.
But what do you call like the people who are not like cool or something? There was, I don't know. He had some term.
Oh.
This is
None of them meant anything.
no. And this reminds me of, if you read comic books from that time when the youth movement was starting, but comic books were largely written by middle-aged guys. And whenever they tried to do, here's these young kids, and it's like, it makes the Archie gang look like something from a Tarantino movie. They are, they're all using crazy lingo, but it's lingo from like the 20s. Man. It's like, hey man, like 23 Skidoo, chicken inspector.
You gotta picture him, his introduction. They hear this music and look out, and there's literally like I was going to say the comic book representation of the guy lost at sea. There's a raft and a post with a flag on it. And
but
he's standing there in tattered clothes, yelling.
A record player from the 1910s. All he needed was a dog listening to his master's voice.
Yeah.
But that was great.
The first thing he shouts is, hey, I dig you all the lovin'. You are really with it. I mean, the truth when it comes sailing in. Hey, that's his.
I would have killed him before this
before he got to the second hey. And then there was another one I love. Hey, he's talking about the microbes. Hey, wonder what makes them do it. You think they want the world to hate them? They want to be punished because of some guilt complex? Hey, you think maybe they're just kooky? And then Bartell goes, I don't understand the meaning of this kooky.
But he did such a great
nowadays.
Yeah, but he did such a great job with his death. When he's laying there, when he's laying there on the cot, and then he goes, and he does it like 2 or 3 times before everything gets really serious, and it just like it's a great way to kind of anticipate where they're going with this, because what's really happening. It's a Chekhov's drink, right, or whatever. What's happening to him, and and the payoff is so.
Oh my gosh!
The payoff feels far more gory than it actually is.
Yeah,
just because of his acting, really on top of it. He sells it.
It is gruesome. It is gruesome, and horrible. What happens to him?
But so simple. All he is like holding a bag of blood probably and switching it out. Right? Fake blood.
Well, then when he's on the raft, they
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They
do.
used some blue screen
Yeah.
or something.
Well,
I don't know exactly.
Good.
What they
Oh
did.
yeah, some pretty good blue screen effect there. I mean, it's obvious
you
how they
you can
did it, but
see
it's
right
so
through
cool.
him, and you see the water around his.
I love it because you see some ribs, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
same time, it might be the cheesiest effect.
Yeah.
It is.
But I loved also the screaming. I mean, the fact that Bartel
Oh, it worked. Yeah.
Yes,
had
that was
this-
brilliant.
This plan, this amazing plan, and just seeing where it was leading was just it was gross and gruesome.
Yeah, and at first when we were watching, my wife and I were watching this, and he's recording him, and we're like, man, it's one thing to kill a person,
Right.
but are you gonna listen to this at night? You get your jollies this way, man, he is a Nazi. Then it turns out no, there was a method to his madness. It's like, okay,
Yep.
all right.
Well, and then
well
after-
played.
After
Very well played.
you hear the screams, and they go look, and the raft is out there, and his dead body is propped up along
Mhm.
the flagpole or something.
Mhm.
And
The flagpole.
it's the recording playing his screams.
Yeah,
He's already long dead.
Mhm.
What a
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. That was creepy.
so that's why he recorded him, I guess, so he could fake him out
Yeah.
and make him
No,
think
no,
he's
that's
still
definitely
alive.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, this guy's playing 3D chess.
He's already, he's vulcanized everything.
Which made me think when you guys were talking about who's gonna die, and then we talk about Omar, and then the guy coming out on this boat. I was like, maybe this is. Well, I don't know if it's the introduction, but I it makes me think of red shirts. Like these two guys are just red shirts.
They are
yeah.
definitely Richard.
They
Oh my
were-
god! On episode 3,
Yeah.
Omar is the red shirt that's there long enough to make you think, well, maybe he's okay.
Right.
Let's see, you've only got 4 people on the island. One of them can't die until the end. One of them's going to die, but you don't want to kill her right away, and the other 2 can't die. So we gotta find somebody to kill.
Yep.
Flesh
What a
must
great-
be eaten at some point.
It was so much fun. And
Uh-huh.
apparently his other buddy was the first one, right? The skeleton they found was his other
Oh
buddy.
my gosh! I thought that was the girl.
No, I thought that was
the girl.
Oh,
That
that
was
was
the
the
girl.
girl. Okay.
The
Because
guy.
he's
The girl from the opening scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
which-
I didn't
Because
catch
she
that.
had her bikini in one
Yeah.
hand.
Oh,
There
that
is
was
a-
okay.
But Doc, there's a logical reason. There's a logical reason why you wouldn't think that, because it's clear in that opening shot that they are in a marina somewhere. There
Right,
are other
right.
boats and buildings in the background, and then somehow her body washes up on a deserted island, hundreds of miles away. I don't know,
Yeah,
a plane
yeah.
ride away. So no,
And-
that
and
makes
then
no
he-
sense.
But he also talks about a friend, right? Didn't he say something about a friend when he was on the raft coming in?
I couldn't understand what he was
No,
saying.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I might have made that up then.
I
Okay,
think he was
fine.
talking about himself because he.
That might be
where-
true.
There's
He has
one
no
point where
friends.
he's talking about Omar, and I'm going, okay, who the hell's Omar, and what's your name? You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
He was referencing himself. I thought he was referencing
Yeah.
a friend. That makes sense. Yep. All right.
All you
well,
need was
the
some bongo drums.
Third
It would be
person
perfect.
beatnik. I guess.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Oh, we do need bongos. And of course we have the flesh eaters themselves. I didn't choose the scratches. I chose the smaller of the 2 monsters, which I thought
Yeah.
was better than the larger one.
That's
Mhm.
I
More
have
plausible.
no idea what that is, but it reminded me a little bit in terms of its sort of nebulous. What the hell is that of the of Kaltiki's?
Yeah, a little Kaltiki, a little Angry Red Planet, and
Mhm.
little Attack of the Crab Monsters, and the electric thing. We got green slime. We got a whole lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff going
Yeah,
on
they-
here. You know.
What
Mhm.
bangs
Yeah.
its tentacles together and squirts out acid fluid or something on anyway.
Yeah. And then
Poor guy.
but our
I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know what the hell it is, but I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
I don't know what it is either, but I don't want to stab it in that round white thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't
No.
either. That's pretty. I surely expected something to squirt out.
Hmm.
It's like Dr. Pimple Popper or something.
Oh.
It's a
but we did-
goiter.
I don't know. And then of course there's the big large one that we see later. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got some other shots.
yeah. I'm looking forward to that. All right.
The
Well,
giant
that's
soap
our
bubbles.
the soap bubbles. I brought out the kidding me. I was waiting.
But it
for
works. It's cheesy, but it works for this
Easy,
movie.
but it
Yep.
works just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna jump out of your seat and say, "I can't take any more of this." No, it's like it's the logical.
No,
you
by
spend
this
all
time,
your time
You're invested.
trying to focus and see what the hell is that. You know, it's like,
all right. Well, that's our cast of characters. Thank you all for joining me on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now,
And it is now time for taglines with Chad.
Oh no, I keep forgetting we still do this.
And the
That's-
Chad is played by.
Where to go?
I did do a little hard thing for these taglines.
All right.
Holy cow!
Mm.
I'm just scrolling down looking at all of them. Okay, here we go. Taglines for flesh eaters. Behind this membrane, you will be driven to a point midway between life and death. Not the whole way, but just midway.
Very specific.
Monday.
I think when they eat you, you're all the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it should say. Tuesday, you'll be driven to a point. The subject matter of this picture will take you to that point that is midway between life and death.
Ooh, they're not letting this go, are they?
No.
Next one's the winner.
The only people who will not be sterilized with fear are those among you who are already dead.
So, do you think someone thought sterilized meant paralyzed? Because that makes no sense.
Paralyzed. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And it's on the poster.
It's on the poster, so it's not like a typo.
That is so funny.
Millions of men
Always
nationwide who
sterilization.
once thought of having children are now
Sterilized
sterilized
with fear.
after seeing flesh eaters. That's a good tagline for this. There's something in this water that eats flesh.
Wow.
The subject matter of this picture will take you to that point again that is midway between life
Oh,
and
that's
death.
a repeat.
Wow.
Sorry about
Oh, okay.
Still
This
happening.
one is an oxymoron. Note, we will not insult your intelligence by having nurses in attendance or any other such trite gimmicks. However, if you cannot stand to see human flesh stripped from a body before your eyes, please don't come.
Please don't.
Wow.
that.
Reverse psychology. How
No
dare you?
trite
I think I'm
gimmicks.
going to come then.
No try gimmicks until you read the next tagline.
The next one's my favorite.
Oh my God. Free in the box of Cheerios at the box office. Instant blood. Your protection from the flesh eaters.
So did they give a little packet of dried powder that,
No, it was actually
Kool-Aid.
ketchup packets with different labels. on it.
Ketchup packets. Oh my God, come get your free ketchup packet. That's
Wow.
great. That's great.
At least that's
Oh
what
my
Arnold
God.
Craig said. I don't know if he was joking. But,
Next one's
Actually, I
good,
meant the
too.
next one was my favorite. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do not attend if you are a deviant from the norm.
There goes the grue-crew.
Oh my God. No.
That's what you say when you want to make sure all the deviants. from the-
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
even show up.
Did you go see Flesh Eaters yet? No, you know I'm a deviant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Absolutely nothing will prepare you for what you see.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a repeat too, so skip that.
It takes just 10 seconds for the flesh eater to strip the last bit of flesh from any living thing.
So these are
Just- Now you know.
these are the voiceovers from the trailers.
Ah.
Oh, God.
Taglines, right?
They stood alone, surrounded by the most abominable threat ever faced by human beings.
Abominable.
One by one, slowly I turned. Half mad with terror, they turned upon each other.
Oh, never
What's-
mind. Hey, wait a minute. That's
What
supposed
the-
that's
What's this next
horror.
one?
And when I said it out loud, they obviously thought I said the W word.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I see.
Ah.
Wow.
What is the
Oh.
dread secret of this horror that was born out of science and madness?
Hmm.
I want to see that movie.
Hello, sailor.
Oh my.
And also still named the Flesh Eater, so whatever.
No.
Was there no way to escape the flesh eaters?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of those. Was there no way to escape? Dun dun dun. The
Dun, dun,
Flesh eaters.
Oh, that's what the dots stand for? Dun, dun, dun.
They can. You couldn't substitute them most of the time.
Never thought of it that way.
This is Jack Curtis, director of the film The Flesh Eaters. If you can't stand the sight of flesh being stripped from a human body, please leave the room. There will be a 10-second countdown. Get your ass out now.
Your ticket will not be refunded, coward.
And then they actually go 10, 9, 8.
Oh God. This is your last chance. We're locking the doors.
Oh,
And that's, thank God, is the end of the
Wow.
taglines for this movie.
and thanks so much, Chad. That's been Taglines with Chad.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
Okay.
Wow.
Chad.
Those
Someone's
actually,
been eating flesh.
surprisingly, were better than most of the taglines we get. So a lot of them.
Pretty
There
articulate.
it is. Sterilized.
But this
with beer.
poster is terrible. I mean, genuinely bad.
And then I saw different variations. So I added a couple here, Bill, to show that it's all variations on the same thing. So there's the one. And then we have the "we will not insult your intelligence." And
Yeah, I like that.
that's what you need. Lots of fine print on posters.
We are so cheap, we are not even going to hire someone to pretend to be a nurse.
Yeah, and there's no credits because you won't recognize their names anyway.
We can't afford a nurse.
Yeah, we can't afford a fake nurse. What do you think? We're made of money? We're poking holes in our film to imitate a monster. Stop.
So looking at that, the image inside the circle there, this is another version, slightly tinted, and I don't know what's supposed to go in the text box down there. But then they started adding some color.
Mm.
No, that
And
makes
some
it worse.
skeletons. Yeah.
And a skeleton, and yeah. And then a little more color.
Huh.
Absolutely nothing will prepare you for what you see. Sterilized with fear. They were really proud of that. They
Well,
capitalized
I
it and
know.
everything.
And then they realized a year later, oh man,
And
Well,
don't
if
forget
you-
the
if you-
woman. They should be called shirt eaters because
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
just eating the shirt.
the girls in
there's
her
some
bra
shoes.
for some odd reason.
There's
Yeah.
some shoe eating.
Yeah,
and some
very,
shirt.
very quick. We
Oh
see
no, there's a
a
perfectly valid reason, Chad. She had to take her shirt off to rip it into bandages to put on the guy's leg so he could take his shirt off and give it to
And
her.
give it to her. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, why would she take her shirt off? And I'm like, have you not watched any of these movies? Of
She's
course
ahead.
she's-
Yes.
No,
How
she
long
was
have
just
you
ahead,
known
she was ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
She saw what was coming, and I'm
That's right.
Yeah, she was.
uh,
Oh,
You're not getting my shirt till after.
I'm
That's
still
Take yours
thinking
off.
I'm
Don't
still thinking
touch my
about
shirt.
sterilized with fear because I'm like going. So if you just, if you got bacteria and stuff or in the house, you just scare the shit out. of
Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you don't want to be vaccinated,
They'll
you
be
just go to those
sterilized.
movies.
that's right. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Where
Bill
are
already
they?
mentioned this, and there's actually kind of a story behind this.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
oh no, it's got the
Yeah,
same
that was a
little
great
thingies.
cover.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's cool.
Arnold Drake wrote the Jerry Lewis and Bob Hope comics.
Really?
And I think the guy, I can't remember exactly how the connections went, but there was a deal made where the guy was like, I'll get flesh eaters. What is it? I'll get somehow or another. If you get flesh eaters in the film Famous Monsters, I'll get a mention of these Jerry Lewis comics in there. Was sort of Arnold Drake said, I'll get that stuff mentioned if the movie's mentioned. I don't know exactly how it worked, but and there it is, Jerry Lewis.
Forey Ackerman was open to making deals. I mean, it's like all you gotta do is cast Forey Ackerman in your movie, and it'll get a cover of Famous Monsters.
No, yeah,
Jerry
that's
Lewis
true.
attacked by monsters. Christopher Lee talks about monsters.
The mole people.
Our monsters.
Yeah,
A scene from the Flesh Eaters. Anyway,
yeah. I just thought that was very cool.
July number 29.
Good work too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we should talk about Jack Curtis a little bit. We don't have a card on him. Anybody? What do we know about that?
I mean, you probably know more because you have that DVD. I couldn't really find that much information about him, or why this was his only film. The only thing I found was that he was the voice of Pops from Speed Racer, which I remember.
Yeah, he did a lot more stuff than that, and somehow or another got involved in the dubbing industry. Where I think they were actually recording stuff and maybe even translating some things. I thought Arnold Drake said he had a deformed hand from birth. This got really descriptive because his mom's the umbilical cord was wrapped around his arm, and it didn't form right. So he tried to be an actor, but he couldn't get jobs because of his hand. So I don't know how he ended up directing this and then shooting it, but they kept saying that there was something that he was like, what did they call it? I put a copy of it in here. Now I won't be able to find it. Like deep focus cinematography or something like that, where depth of field is a lot bigger, right? Is what I'm assuming. And that's why you have some of these great shots in there that
which are terrific.
Doc was talking about. So between Arnold Drake's script and his storyboards and Jack Curtis shooting the film and following those storyboards, you end up with some really great shots in there.
Yeah, really cool.
He was not
look how limited the sets are. We have basically a beach and a tent, and not a whole lot to work with.
Yeah, by the side of the shore when they rent the airplane. That's the only other one. That must be one of those other ones. But yeah, and he died pretty young. I think he was 44. Quite a drinker, and died from pneumonia, probably accelerated by his drinking.
Sure.
But anyway, he put this one movie out that I think is deep focus cinematography. That's it.
Yeah. Citizen Kane stuff.
And it was under almost the entire thing is shot in broad daylight. Even when Laura is putting the moves on Professor Bartell, and he says, "Here, come with me. Let's find some shade." And he goes up the hill, and they kneel down in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of all we know about him,
And I read something about his wife winning some money, and that was used to help pay for the film or something.
Well, and according
partway through the film, or I don't know if I didn't have a chance to look and see if that's true. But
yeah, cool, supposedly she won $72,000 on some game show, but according to Arnold Drake, it was one of the rigged game shows that.
Well, that's
as time
money
went
was
by,
still good.
It was found illegal, but I think they must have spent it already.
Yeah. 72,000 back then was some serious money. That's serious money now, actually. But that would be really serious.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at Arnold.
Wonder how he talked her out of that. It's like, hey, I want this money to finish my movie. It's like, hey, I won this money illegally.
Exactly. Fair and square illegally.
Yeah.
So you guys are well aware of Arnold Drake, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, Chad, was he also a comic book artist? I mean, I knew him mostly as writer.
Writing's the only thing I've known him for. If he did draw some, I'm not aware of it, but I know.
And you can tell when you look at the storyboards for the movie, they're not great art.
Okay. But being a comic book guy, he knew how to tell a story.
What was supposed to go in the frame, yeah. In
Okay.
fact, they
more
told
than
us,
some do.
he said something about he started out being a writer and artist, but when he found out his word balloons were getting bigger and bigger, he decided to just be a writer. That's what he said. I don't know.
Well, it served him well. He made some great characters.
Chad can probably talk more about these characters than I can. But
well, these were oddball. I mean, Doom Patrol, Dead Man. These were some of the most offbeat,
really
crazy characters, and the first iteration of Guardians of the Galaxy. was nothing like what we have in the comics now. These,
Right.
John Doe was part of the original.
Yes, he was.
yeah, he was
translated, but not.
But it wasn't a, the very first iteration. I think that we had was didn't have Star-Lord, or they had them in the movies. These guys showed up in the movies, but as different.
Yeah.
I think Stallone played one of the characters, Starhawk or whatever his name was. But Doom Patrol was you talk about an odd book. I mean, it absolutely, it was way out there. I mean, it was way ahead of its time. And so was Dead Man, who was essentially a ghost who could possess people. But he was dressed like a superhero because he was a trapeze artist.
Is he the guy in the middle?
He's the guy at the very top on the right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With the big D on his chest.
Yeah. He was essentially just a ghost who could possess people and take them over to solve crimes and stuff like that.
He's a cult favorite, though. People.
Yeah, he is.
But the character he gets,
same for Doom Patrol, right?
the character he gets the most credit for is Beast Boy, who later started out in, I think, Doom Patrol, and then later became part of the Teen Titans, and then became a fan favorite as Teen Titans has gone through its various different versions. He's quite popular. But the one I love is that my all-time favorite comic book cover is that X-Men 50 with Lorna Dane, Polaris, by Jim Steranko. I absolutely love that cover. That's one book I will never sell.
Is that one he wrote?
He created the character, and
okay.
I think that may have been when he was writing X-Men.
They got a list of episodes if you go to like his Wikipedia, or issues and episodes of stuff that he worked on. But according to this thing, he said he had been, I forget what he was doing, but he noticed, I know what it was, DC. He was working for DC, and he claims he went to DC to kind of warn him about Marvel because they were getting much bigger, and they just kind of ignored him. Yeah. And so, although Doom Patrol is DC, but he noticed in Marvel that the superheroes were having a lot more depth and quirky characteristics, and a lot of drama and problems and stuff. And so he tried to create his own really weird superheroes with weird problems in Doom Patrol. That really was his goal.
One of the controversies is that Doom Patrol, which has these offbeat characters, misunderstood, not very well liked by society, led by a guy in a wheelchair, came out exactly 1 month before X-Men, with essentially the same premise, only they specifically called them mutants, and they have a guy in a wheelchair leading them, and ... They're so similar, it's almost impossible to believe that it was accidental, but all the evidence is that it was just accidental. Yeah. 1 month is not enough time to rip off an idea. And
that's what he said. They tried to sue him, but at some point he just had to admit it was probably just coincidental.
He also did the Bob Hope and Jerry Lewis comics for DC as well. DC
and Toby Gillis too. Toby, didn't he do something with Karloff as well?
He went over to Gold Key at some point, left both.
He went over to Gold Key. So he did some Tales of Suspense or something at Gold Key that were like what was anyway. He told a story about, he was testifying in some court case. He didn't specify what it was about, but the opposition's lawyer was trying to discredit his testimony, was going to discredit his testimony based on his involvement with this movie. He said, what was the name of that science fiction movie that you wrote? Oh, you mean The Flesh Eaters? And the guy reacted in horror. And Arnold Drake says, I just said, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were a vegetarian.
Didn't mean to sterilize you with fear.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he was also one of the people involved that tried to get
Bill Finger.
But was responsible for getting better pay and benefits and stuff for
Mhm.
and credit for the comic books that they were
Cool.
creating.
That might be why he stopped working for Marvel and DC.
Well,
I
there
think
was-
he
there were-
said that's why. Yeah.
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 They didn't cotton to that kind of talk.
He was very vocal about the cents per page or whatever the
Yeah.
payment per page rate. He also was a big proponent of, is the guy's name, the creator of Batman, not Bob Kane, was it Bill Finger? Is it William Finger?
Mm-hmm.
They share co-creation credit now, but Bill Finger came up with most of the cool ideas for Batman.
Yeah, so he was
Joker,
was instrumental in doing that, and he ended up receiving the first Bill Finger Award for underappreciated comic book writer or artist, whatever. He helped create that thing, and then they gave him the first award in like 2005, I think, something like that, 2003. So
I'm going to check out Doom Patrol and Dr. or Dead Man. Those sound really interesting.
Dead Man, it does to me
Yeah.
too.
Deadman
Okay,
has
so-
some great Neil Adams art. too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he worked with, but there's some references to him doing some stuff with Carmen Infantino. Was he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a DC guy. He's an old editor at DC.
He was the
Okay.
publisher of DC for a couple of
Mhm.
years. It's interesting when you look
I
at
took
the
it as
artists.
was he an artist?
Yeah, he was
Carmen,
an artist. too.
Yeah, he was talking about he did the artwork for some of the stuff he wrote back in the.
Oh yeah, he did. He was the one who sort of brought the flashback. It's interesting. He worked with Neil Adams and Steranko, because those are two guys who were very, very into the getting rights for comic book people. Maybe that's why they got along so well with Arnold Drake.
So who's the guy in the middle?
That's Havoc. That is an
Havoc.
X-Men. He is
Okay.
he created or co-created Havoc,
Yep.
who's a really cool character in the comics. But I don't. As far as I know, has Havoc ever shown up in the X-Men in any of the movies?
Oh yeah, he's
Did he?
No,
in
the
the
movies.
movie?
I don't know about the movies.
I want to
He's
say
Cyclops.
yes, but not in a
Not to the degree.
prominent.
He's
Yeah,
Cyclops' brother, so he's a fairly major character, as
okay.
is Polaris. But and I think Polaris is going to be in the next X-Men movie. I think I saw something about her being cast. So good.
And then it says something about It Rhymes with Lust, a comic that may be considered a first graphic novel he did with artist Matt Baker,
Yeah, there was a
Arnold Drake.
Yeah, somebody
I
just
posted
sent,
something in the script
yeah.
or in the chat. Was that the name of it?
The only other major movie I found that he wrote was Who Killed Teddy Bear, which is
Oh, so that's a movie.
Cast.
Yeah, that's looks
Sal
good,
Mineo
yeah.
and Juliet Prowse.
Yeah, It Rhymes with Lust was a concept that they tried to put out. It would have been, they were billed as picture novels.
Yeah.
So like graphic novels. And I think they were sort of digest sized. But they only did 2 of them. So It Rhymes with Lust was the first one. And then they did a mystery after that, and they didn't sell very well. And
Yeah.
which is like, too far ahead of your time, I guess.
Right. I've got one of those too. I think it was called His Name is Savage by Gil Kane. And, it's
okay.
good. It's very hard-boiled adult comics.
Yeah, I think
And-
this is from like 1950, I think.
Oh wow, that's early.
Did you see the date?
Let's see.
1950, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's too soon. Comic books were kids stuff. Nobody was going to think
Mm,
otherwise.
mhm.
It was only 25 cents. 1950. All right. We done with Arnold Drake?
Yeah, good guy.
Okay, you got to explain this one, Bill, because I don't know anything about this guy. The editor, Randy
Okay,
Metzger.
so the editor, Randy Metzger, is the one name from the crew that really stood out to me, because he is considered probably the greatest director of adult films ever.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and these films, some of them would probably only be R. The Cat and the Canary is actually a mainstream movie, so he's one of the few porn directors who went on to actually do some mainstream stuff. But opening of Misty Beethoven, Barbara
Yeah, I saw that.
Broadcast,
That's kind of strange.
those, I mean, okay, none of these movies are great, but these are good because there was a time when people really thought the future would be adult, hardcore, not simulated, actual sex, but in the service of a story. And these movies actually do have stories. I'm not saying they're, complicated stories, but they're for adult films, they're pretty advanced, really well shot. If you just want to knock a porn movie off your bucket list, you probably are not going to do any better than opening a Misty Beethoven. And unfortunately, I think what happened is the exact opposite, that I think these films had a story because that would justify being able to release them. And you could say, no, it has socially redeeming value. Look, there's a story here. Yeah, there's sex, but the sex scenes are in service of the story. And then at some point, once these things were now, you could just watch them in the privacy of your own home. It turns out that the fans of this particular genre weren't really as into story as people thought they were. It doesn't have to be any more complicated.
What are you trying to
oh
say?
no, the pizza guy's here and I have no money, and that's as far as it goes.
Okay, that's.
But he was a truly good filmmaker, and really good stuff. It's almost a shame that he went into hardcore, because his softcore stuff is really well made and genuinely erotic.
So I'm looking at his credits. He only has 5 editor credits. The first one in 1959 is Gangster Story, and it was directed by Walter Matthau.
Huh.
Wow.
And starred Walter Matthau.
Interesting. Well, now, okay, it's a little deceptive that he only has 5 editing credits, because I think he kind of cut his teeth on foreign films and trailers. He learned to edit, so he did a lot more editing than he's probably credited for. Also, he might be under multiple names, because I don't think Randy Metzger is actually his name. So who knows? There was a lot of folks in the golden age of adult porn that did not use their actual names. One of them is there's apparently a film that was at least partly directed by Orson Welles. So there was a time when people were really kind of getting into this, but it killed itself.
Has anybody seen Cat and the Canary from '78?
I have not.
I don't think so.
I'm calling his name wrong. I think I said Randy Metzger. It's Radley.
Radley. I was saying Randy too, because Randy is funnier, but Radley, you're right. It's actually, yeah. Randy.
One of the pioneers of American adult cinema, and distributed European erotic films, including the Danish sex film I, a Woman. Then he decided to direct his own features.
That he did.
Made a ton of money.
Wait a minute.
And retired.
Yeah.
These are the films we would bring to my college campus, 1979, 1984, when you get away with this. Once a year, we would show one adult film. And we had to put a lot of thought into it, because most of them are crap, absolute garbage. And we were already going to get all kinds of grief from the fundamentalists and the feminists and everyone else. They would sell out. It would be our most successful night of the year for the film club. But we had to find something that we could justify and keep straight faces while no, this film actually has something to say about, lies. And it would usually be one of his films or something like it, either a Russ Meyer film or a Radley Metzger film.
It says he used the pseudonym Henry Paris.
That was for his real hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to sully the good name of Radley Metzger.
I'd always say that the reason for changing my name was too esoteric for anyone to understand. The truth is, I was terrified of going to jail.
That is a motivator. The cops would break into the room. Where's this Henry Paris guy? And Radley's like, he went out for coffee.
I'm Radley. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he actually, Eddie said, we've talked about this in other movies too. Ordinarily, a producer sees possibly 10% of what his pictures bring in, because the income has to be cut into so many small pieces. In my case, I didn't have to realize as much on my pictures, because I saw 100% of what was coming in, and I didn't have an enormous bureaucratic structure to support. Okay.
On the other hand, you're working for the mob, so they may take their cut.
Oh, well. Well, let's take a look at our lead here.
Look at that bottom one. I love the bottom shot.
The bottom shot. But look at that middle shot. That look he's giving. It's like, I'm the smartest guy in this room. You are all going to die horribly, and you don't know it.
Mhm.
but I'm smiling. So, you know,
Yeah. There's something's up.
yeah. If anyone ever smiles like you like that, smiles at you like that, run. Just
Yeah.
turn around and
Turn
run.
around.
We actually see a smile like that in a lot of movies. I love that. There's a lot of pictures like that where he's half lit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
They did a great
looks
job with that.
really dastardly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
what else is
I think this
I-
film was
Job
helped
in
by
this
the
movie.
fact that it's black and white too.
Yeah.
Look at all the
I-
stuff this guy was in.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? Jeff?
Lon Chaney. Oh, I was just gonna say I really liked the end when he's reaching for was a gun with this little bony finger.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. That was a
What are you
nice-
gonna do with that? What are you gonna do?
Is he gonna
Hey.
get it? Is he gonna get it?
we
It was
had a hand
awesome.
coming out of the grave. That would
I
be
know,
great
I
if the
loved
gun-
it.
If the
Yeah.
gun lifted up and pointed.
I loved it.
That shouldn't work.
I know.
Yeah.
He does a great job in this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's
he's
terrific.
a very good actor.
But so this is another guy who escaped from Nazi Germany because he wasn't a Nazi and didn't want to be around Nazis. Then pretty much spent the rest of his career playing Nazis.
Mhm.
He actually was very anti-Nazi
Absolutely.
vocally and ticked off Goebbels, and so they had him tried in absentia and sentenced to death.
Huh.
And he found out about it before they grabbed him, and he bolted the
Really?
country at that point. But-
And then he played Goebbels what 5 or 6 times,
And he
did a
said
great
he-
job too.
he loved playing them so that people could realize how despicable they were, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, that's kind of an interesting take. And what's that
Yeah.
movie? House of Horrors. Yeah.
House of Horrors. That's
Rondo.
the one with
Uh-huh.
Rondo
Yeah.
Hatton.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite role that he was in, where he plays this sculptor who's not getting anywhere.
The
And then
Creeper.
Rondo, the creeper, shows up, and he's like, he becomes his muse, and he's just basically making a good copy of Rondo, and people are like, oh my God, it's so grotesque. Where do you come up with these crazy ideas? And it's like, I just cast his head. And,
He's in the bathroom.
Would
and then
you
he
like to-
starts using the creeper to go after his critics. Yeah, it's like anyone who gives him a bad review is like, it'd be a shame if he got strangled or something. He's in The Mummy's Curse, which is one of my favorite of the Mummy movies, just because it's got that cool opening where the girl's in the mud and she comes back to life and rises out, and it's like, dang, that's scary.
Hmm.
But mostly it's a lot of Hitler movies and Nazi movies, and he's really good. He's malevolent when he wants to be.
He was also in She Wolf of London.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Oh,
and the movie, in the movie, The Beginning of the End, or The End, is that no? That's
Beginning-
probably not.
That's the beginning or the end. That's about the atomic bomb. You know how many times
Okay.
I started watching that movie thinking grasshoppers were going to be in it? I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking when I read it. Nope.
Grasshoppers?
Agent
the
Harm.
beginning of the end is the one with the giant grasshoppers.
Oh, okay.
It is.
The
Beginning or
Mad
the end.
Doctor?
So he was in a couple movies with Lon Chaney, and they did not get along.
Wouldn't
At all.
surprise me. He was a serious actor, and I would not have liked if Lon Chaney
And Lon was a
drinking that
serious
stuff.
drinker.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
His last
Also,
movie.
Lon kept referring to him as a Nazi bleep, bleep, bleep. And I guess he didn't.
Oh,
like
well,
that
there
too
you go.
much. Yeah.
Has a long career, 102 credits in IMDb, and I'm sure there's other ones. I found I don't know where they were talking about it, but where he kind of got started was a German movie called Alraun.
Yes.
Alraun.
I almost put that in there. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Alraun. It's kind of a totally unknown early horror film that's been made like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And it's based on the legend of the mandrake root that it's from the 1920s, but it's about artificial insemination,
Yeah.
which was
The
big stuff back
scientist impregnates a prostitute in a laboratory with the semen of a hanged murderer. The
yeah,
prostitute conceives a female child who has no concept of love.
she's soulless. So and that's how people thought back then, that artificial insemination would, create creatures, humans without souls. And so, yeah, has not aged well, but it's got Bridget Helm in it. At least one of the versions, one or two of the versions have Bridget
the
Helm.
first one is Bridget Helm.
Yeah, she's great.
There was a silent film, and then like 10 years later, a talkie, and then there was a couple.
They kept doing it because it was such a hot, pre-code concept, because you've got this woman who just has no soul, by which I mean she has sex with lots of people. That's, code for, we're going to show as much as we can. It's 1930, so don't get your hopes up, but whatever. And if they got called on, it's like, hey, look, she's the villain. We're saying this is bad. Yeah, but you're showing an awful lot of it. I think you're pulling the wool over my eyes, Hollywood guy.
But no.
So he's a good anchor for this cast,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's great.
He's a highlight.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I love villains who think they're smarter than everyone else in the movie, and often are. But that hubris is usually what trips them up at some point.
Yep. Always. Yeah.
All right.
There's that shot.
There's that shot we're talking about.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is darn good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a million ways you can shoot anything. Why not put some thought into it? And that is a great shot. It actually looks like Dr. Cyclops. Look at these little ant-like people.
I know. That's what I think they did it on purpose, don't they?
Mm. It's a very comic book panel shot. I know Chad's seen this. Was it Wally Wood who did a whole page of here's different ways you can set up a panel, and he showed the close shot, the medium shot, the depth of whatever, and it's like, yeah, why just have medium shot, 9 panels all looking basically the same, when you can, if you're good at it, you can tell a story even before the dialogue gets written in.
So he was not the first actor that was supposed to do this part. I don't know what the other one's name is, but according to Arnold Drake, they were just getting ready to start shooting the movie, and the guy comes to him and says, I got a role as an understudy to Theodore Bickel. And he said, The Sound of Music. I'm wondering if it wasn't Fiddler on the Roof, but anyway, he said, I can't pass it up. It's like a dream come true. And, Arnold's like, you know how often Theodore Bickel gets sick? Sort of like you're giving up anyway. So
you're giving up a chance to be in the Flesh Eaters, to go work on Broadway with some famous star.
Yes.
Be gone.
So, but he does a very good job,
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the middle shot is very comic book too. Kind of shot from just a little bit low, looking up.
That could be a Terry and the Pirates panel right there.
There's quite a few of those.
Black
I mean,
Hawk.
when Laura runs out on the rock outcropping to retrieve her booze that she sees in the suitcase floating in the Flesh Eaters, when he goes out there to get her, they do a really low shot up, so you can't see what's in the background or anything else, but it's kind of cool. It's like almost like you're seeing from the Flesh Eaters point of view.
And I'm like I said, I'm surprised this guy did not do more, because I think he's got the look and the acting chops to really pull off. I mean, this is a little bit past the golden age of film noir, but this character is great. World War II vet, seen a lot of shit, back in the real world, maybe having a hard time adjusting. Detective, criminal, wrongly accused person. These things write themselves, and they need a certain character, a certain actor, a certain look, and I think he had it. So I thought he acquitted himself very nicely here.
I just was looking before this. Most of the soap operas that he was in, he did not do very many episodes, but he did one called From These Roots.
Yeah. And he's in like hundreds of those.
382 episodes.
Never heard of From These Roots.
Says fictional New England community of Strathfield was the setting for this remarkably well-written serial. focused on the romantic exploits of newspaper journalist Liz Fraser. Okay.
I wonder if those things
never
even
heard.
exist anymore. You know, I've
Probably.
never heard of that one.
No, I haven't either.
Would they even keep those tapes or just toss them out? Maybe they were shot in film back then. I don't know.
I don't know. He his first credits are like 1951. Or no, those are Hallmark. 1952 Hallmark Hall of Fame episode, probably. Anyway,
It's interesting. He was the model for the crucifixion for Salvador Dali
yes.
in 1954. Isn't that's incredibly
Wow.
interesting?
Oh, that's really interesting.
And he earned $25 an hour, which I
wonder
probably
why-
wasn't not too bad back then, I guess.
Yeah. I just wonder why he was picked. That's a very interesting story.
Yeah, there's something there. So is The Doctors another soap opera and The Edge of Night? Or
Yeah.
those movies?
Edge of Night
Night
definitely
definitely
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Edge of Night was a 30-minute afternoon soap opera that was much more mystery oriented than a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
So anyway, that when it says he's known as an actor for The Doctors, Edge of Night, and then something called Trick Baby in '72.
Baby.
This is the Salvador Dali.
Great painting.
Oh wow! He did that for 12 hours. Sat in that position.
Probably without the nails, right?
Mine hopes.
Who knows? Salvador Dali.
Maybe they were
Salvador Dali.
lobsters.
So then Jan, played by Barbara Wilkins, she said she has no memory of making this movie.
Crazy.
Maybe she was the drinker. That's
She
funny.
was great in it. That's
I really
funny
liked
that
her.
She,
Yeah.
yeah.
No memory.
I mean, how many movies did she make that she forgets this one?
Not that many, I don't think.
Yeah,
she has 19 credits.
Hmm.
Hook, Line, and Sinker in 1969. Wasn't that Jerry Lewis?
Yeah. Yeah, she was in that when she played a lady.
Prerequisite episodes of
Yeah.
Big Valley and
I love that so
Gunsmoke.
much.
What'd you say, Bill? I'm sorry.
I said she was in Jerry Lewis movie. She played a lady.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
Bonanza.
No, never.
She did an Outer Limits episode.
Oh, cool.
And Perry Mason.
Yeah.
She's a switchboard operator. Anyway, I
was
don't know that
good.
much
She was
about
good.
her, and I don't
She
think
was
they
very
say she died in 84.
Hmm.
I think she might have been robbed of a career because she should have done more things.
Was
How about
crowned
you?
festival queen at New York's 1955 Summer Festival, where she was appearing in the play 7-Year Itch.
I mean, that's one thing. Keep in mind, especially in the classic era, if we see these people who are really good and they have a surprisingly small IMDb thing, they might have been doing a lot of theater
Oh,
because
Yeah,
you
that's
know
true.
theater was a much bigger deal back then and higher status than movies and certainly higher than TV.
Right.
okay.
Pretty much the exact opposite of now.
But she does a great job, and yeah, there's the shot of her
Taking one for the team.
ripping her shirt off,
Saving the day.
wearing what I would say is
Admirably.
not the kind of bra you would expect unless it was an evening gown or something, but okay. Unless you want to.
The history of women's undergarments gets pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense. Some of the things that they have to wear. That's probably just a
Well, I
standard
was-
little bra.
I was looking
Yeah.
at what they were wearing, and my memory from the 60s was that the dresses weren't all that sexy, but man, these dresses they're wearing were like, they were so tight they could barely walk. I don't know what you call them, and then cinched around the waist.
Mhm.
Anyway,
She looked
I remember
great in the image above. I love that little outfit she was wearing. That she got called out for by
Yeah.
the lady.
Yeah, by the lady.
The
Yeah.
lady.
This coffee doesn't have enough vodka in it.
Yeah. Who? Laura's mad at her for wearing sexy clothes, apparently, because she doesn't want her to outshine her.
Yep,
That's,
she
what
doesn't
I,
take
that's how I
any
took it. Yeah.
attention away from her. Yep.
Hey, but who does the Nazi hit on? The actress.
Mm. But who does he get the closest to? Omar.
Oh, the flesh eater. Yeah, Omar. That's right. Yeah.
They were buddies. I love how he drank that. It was kind of a weird milky looking fluid with a little bit of, wasn't there a little bit of steam or something coming up from it, or vapor? I don't know. He chugs that down and says, boy, that hit the spot.
They sure did.
He probably said that hit the loving spot.
Never loving even. No,
All righty. She's pretty good. Then there's Rita Morley.
Yeah.
I just like her.
Yeah.
I know I'm not supposed to, but
Yeah. She's good.
she's
Well,
difficult. But you figure she's probably, she's probably had a hard life. She copes with it as best she can with drinking. Knows it's
She
not
has
good
her own
for her.
demons.
yeah.
She's
Yeah,
she's just trying to get by.
And
There-
I can't remember the name. Is it Jan?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jan's like she indicates some of her backstory by saying, she doesn't have confidence, or she's trying to,
Yeah.
they're alluding to there being more to her than just that. And I think they did a really good job.
It doesn't show this in the credits, but I'm thinking, if I got this right, Arnold said that she did something with Martha Stewart early in Martha Stewart's career, where they like, I don't know if they worked together or if they did alternating shows about
cool.
the kinds of stuff that Martha Stewart did, and she did too. So
Interesting.
I mean, there's one line where the hero alludes to, I've heard of her, one scandal at a time. So, what I like about this movie is it doesn't spoon feed you everything. You can fill in the gaps. She's a famous actress, but she's hitting that age where they start replacing you with younger actresses. She's, probably wearing out her welcome, and this desperation to get to the place she has to get to, you start thinking she probably doesn't have that many second chances left. And so, I like that you can fill in the blanks here, because I think most movies of that time, and sadly, most movies of our present time, think that we're so flippin' stupid that if it doesn't get explained to us and have characters monologuing about everything, that we won't get it. And sadly, they may be right.
yeah. So
For a lot of the population.
exactly. So, like, for instance, when she sees the creature grow, or the flesh eaters growing underneath that cloth, and then she goes over and starts putting on makeup, they don't bother telling you what she's doing. You just they just move to the next scene, because I had no idea. I'm like, this is a really weird behavior after seeing that those things are still alive. Why wouldn't you run screaming? I don't know.
Yeah, but once you see what she's up to, it's really easy to believe that she would do that. Because
Exactly right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. It's built in there, like Bill was saying, and then it just naturally you get that information from other things. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at. Here's that first scene.
Yep.
Ba boom.
That middle shot doesn't look like it was made with this movie. It's such an interesting shot.
Yeah, the whole beginning was kind of, I felt a little bit
He's
tacked
just
on.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, her boyfriend's being kind of a goof, and I don't think he at least doesn't act like he intentionally ripped her top off.
Yeah.
He
No,
kind
I
of
think
acts
they're
like
just-
he's
they're just
surprised.
playing.
Broken up over it though.
Yeah. And then she dives in because in modesty, I guess.
And then the classic, he dives in after her, but he don't come up,
Yeah.
He doesn't come up.
which is the classic thing to do.
And she gets
like that.
surrounded by a cloud of black. Yeah, that
I like
middle
that.
shot, she's laughing, kind of going, "Where'd you
Hey.
go?" Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, come on up. You're making me scared now. Stop tickling my feet.
Yeah. who's tickling my feet. That'd be a good one. That is Barbara Wilson. And she did do some other stuff. But this was the last movie she made.
Oh. Well, yeah. She got dragged to a watery death. I mean.
Yeah. She's down there with Shelley.
Yeah, that's right.
And then floats up on the beach as a bleached skeleton.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so I just want to say,
with all the bones holding together.
I'm watching this with my wife, and she's like, bones don't stick together like that. I know, but they don't know. And the character's like, oh yeah, I think a shark did this. Yes, a shark that cut little bite-sized morsels out and ate them. And I'm like, man, in movies, people are really dumb. And then we have our hero who it doesn't look like he belongs to Mensa. But he's smart enough to go, yeah, that's not what sharks do to a skeleton. And we're like, oh, finally, someone who actually gets it.
These are the sharks.
I appreciated that.
Like we eat chicken.
And I appreciated that too, Bill, because it's like along with that other thing too, where it's like, oh, see, obviously they just eat flesh. It's like, no, it's not obvious that they just eat flesh. Where does that theory come from? One thing.
They make a lot of broad jumps.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they make a lot of broad jumps. Like the one that got me, and this, there's no explaining this except we just had to end the movie. Is the death of the monsters. They figure the blood kills the monster, and it's like, obviously. And I'm thinking, is it because it was her blood? She was drunk, and alcohol kills them? It's like, no, blood kills them. Like they're flesh eaters. 90% of what you're eating when you're eating flesh is blood.
Did you get the explanation?
No, it was terrible. The hemoglobin, obviously the hemoglobin. Like, no, this is dumb.
But I
bad
feel like
movie, bad.
But it's ironic.
The original, when they're little flesh eaters, they can ward off the hemoglobin. But when it gets big like this, it's lost that ability.
Yeah, it's almost Shakespearean. It's like, the Merchant of Venice. Yeah, you can take a pound of flesh, but you can't take any blood. Oh.
But I like that the other two examples we had, like with the pilot saying that's not how sharks work, and the lameness of they eat just flesh knowledge does point to him being a bad liar, or him trying to pull the wool over their eyes,
But it also makes the hero smart because he knows what this guy's saying is bullshit, but he doesn't call him out on it because there's nothing to be gained by letting him know that you're being lied to. And that is a level of smart. How many times do we see in movies where like the bad guy is holding a gun at someone and they're like, and I'm going to go to the cops right now and tell them all about you. And then they're like surprised when they get shot. You're like, no, you say, you're right. You're absolutely right. Someone else did this. I'm going to go get a milkshake. And then you run to the cops.
Yeah, he should have said, this seems like a great plan.
And he started doing that early on. So he was, he established that.
This wasn't the first Nazi he's run across.
We have some flesh eating here too.
Yeah. Oh,
there's Omar out on the raft.
And there's
that through his ribs. Yeah,
the guy who showed up and got.
Oh my God, I love.
Didn't even make it to the beach.
I know that hurt. It's like, oh,
their effects are so ambitious compared to their technology and their knowledge. They did real basic things, but damn it, it looks pretty good.
The little hazy light effect around them actually makes the makeup, which is work a whole lot better. Yep. And it suddenly looks better. But wasn't that middle guy kind of weirdly set up? We had that whole scene where he has that conversation with that old guy.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, this guy's going to be a major part of this movie, and he literally did not make it to the beach.
Yeah. He died quick.
Yep.
And that picture of Omar is just so gross. Like his gut. I love that little, just, not very much money spent on it or whatever, but it's just totally, the point is made and your mind takes it and goes with it.
But the guy in the boat, the guy that dies in the boat, he comes up and this guy apparently is his boss. And
Yeah.
What was that?
anybody see him any more like a New England fisherman?
Oh, you betcha.
And he
Macro
talks that
sky,
way,
soon
too.
wet or dry.
Yeah, and he says these little sayings that are yeah, wet or dry.
Lottery and June, corn coming soon.
Come past late, fish at 8 or something. I forget what all. He had 2 or 3 of those. I actually
Red
wrote
touch
them
yellow,
down.
kill a fella. That's what my grandpappy said.
And he just keeps doing it. You know,
Yeah.
every
I
time
don't know
that
what
the
you
other
call
guy
book
says
smart,
something,
but I know
he comes
things.
back with a.
Oh,
I did want to bring up the Nazi footage.
Oh, no.
So we don't have any pictures, but there's a version of that.
Somebody woke up Chad.
There's a scene where
You have the
so they
darkest
decide
mustache.
that they're going to
so-
kill this thing by running these leads down from his giant solar battery down to the beach and then placing them like 100 yards apart on the beach, and then they're going to
Yeah.
energize the water with 10,000 volts, and it's going to kill all these things, right?
I like how he drew the little sketch, which is like
Yeah.
a line with 2 other lines coming out of it. Like, oh, thanks for clearing that up.
And X's. Oh. And then here's a little guy here.
This drawing is for the stupid among us.
So while he's telling them this story, while Professor Bartels is kind of telling them this story, in one version, you cut to this scene. It's around an hour and 5 or 8 minutes in. You see large tanks alongside of the road, and then tanker train cars parked on the tracks, and then you get in to like a scientific lab, and then somebody staring at an oscilloscope, and then somebody doing something with test
It's
tubes,
really
and
cheap looking.
Erlenmeyer flasks, and then he's created. You get the idea that he's created the thing, and then they pour it into this like a small swimming pool, or would it be like a bath, almost like a public bath kind of pool, and you see them marching naked women into this pool. Only you don't see any of the naked stuff. You just know they're naked because, like Bill was saying, they walk out behind this. There's something standing there that has
Austin
like
Powers
It's Austin
concealed.
Powers.
Yeah.
They're holding pineapples.
that has planks exactly at breast and hip height,
mhm.
and all the
My
women walk out. They're all the same height, so it all works. And then you're kind of from behind, and then a couple of them they push in. The first thing they do is their hair's in a ponytail, and they tie a rope around the ponytail and throw them in there, and then they start a stopwatch to wait until they're done. And then when the stopwatch hits a certain time, then they lift the skeleton out of the water by its hair. So you have this skeleton, a totally bleached skeleton,
Totally bleached
with the
skeleton.
hair attached.
Yeah.
And they're-
It was a shock.
Like the hairs attached to the skull.
And then they bring a guy out. Now he's got shorts on, and he's
Thank
on a
God.
table, and they roll him out, and then they tip the table up, and he slides in, and then at some point he jumps up out of the water, and then they freeze frame.
His eyes are
and then
wide.
it goes back to Professor Bartels explaining how the Nazis came up with that. All this is voiced over by him explaining.
Huh.
It's about 3 minutes long, so there's something cut somewhere, because he doesn't spend 3 minutes explaining that stuff.
It's really, really lame, but it does have one good chilling line, which is, goes, they experimented with the cheapest lab animal available to them, humans. I'm like, ooh, damn. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good.
And that was added later for
Yeah, the
Biden,
distributor, a
so-
guy
Iced
named
up a
Michael
little.
Rip. I looked him up, and I can't find a guy that I'm satisfied as him.
interesting.
He's not listed on the film. Somebody asked him, I think Fred Olin Ray asked Arnold Drake what he was like, what Michael Rip was like. Oh, he was quite the character. Well, what was he trying to achieve with this? He goes, I don't know. I guess he liked kraut naked women.
Yeah. Wow.
I said,
Yeah.
okay.
Okey-dokey.
Mr. Drake, you're showing the times you came from. But okay.
That's yeah.
I haven't been calling him Crouch since I watched Combat.
Right.
Which might, that was the same time period. So anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't really know. He put that stuff in and it's been taken back out. So
interesting.
He wanted, I guess, the drama to show the evil of the Nazis, I guess, rather than just talking about it. I don't know. All right. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
I'm glad you all enjoyed watching this.
Fun movie. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. It was good to see it again.
All right. Well, in that case, it's time for feedback. We have a few short feedback. This is pretty interesting.
This is a cool one.
Yeah. Bill, you want to take that one?
Sure. For the Incredible Shrinking Man. Now, this is before I got on the podcast here, but Laurie Wooten drops this bombshell. This was fun. ... My mom played Louise, his wife.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually goes
cool.
dum dum dum. Remember? Dum dum
Dum,
dum.
dum, dum.
You gotta read it right. Bill.
That's right.
Read it right.
Her name was Randy Stewart.
Very cool.
I wonder if they called her Miss Randy, like Miss Jeff.
Sure it wasn't Radley?
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at that.
But thanks, Lori. That's awesome.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh.
It must be so neat, to have a parent from that time, and you turn on the movie and it's like, there's mom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's cool.
So very cool. Thanks for the input. I think that was before. It feels like that was video, but I think it was
Audio,
before we
you
did video. I think it was before we did video. So, all right. Next one. Thank you, Laurie Wooten. The Magnetic Monster, episode 226. Ziggle 314. Chad, you want to take that one?
Sure. Ziggle says, fun watching you guys. I love getting to watch others review classic science fiction. I grew up on these movies and have a warm spot in my heart for them.
Aw.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Sigil 314.
Appreciate it. We really
Nice.
appreciate it. That's kind of what we're going for. We're just a bunch of people sitting around the collective tables talking about these movies. We've tried to put some effort into it. Thank you, Ziggle. Episode 228, The Boogeyman Will Get You, from Bon Pourvu. And let's go with Daphne.
Okay, Bon Pourvu. I've had the name Slapsy Maxie Rosenblum in my head for years and never knew who he was. Always assumed he was a vaudeville comedian. Seeing him and hearing his voice, I'm sure he must have been the inspiration for the Yeti in the Daffy Duck cartoon. The one that says, I will name him George and I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him. Also, as you were mentioning lookalikes, I've always thought Earl Holyman, who you mentioned, looks like Michael Rooker. Same voice too. Ciao, ciao.
That's true. I never thought about that, but yeah, it's
It kind of makes me
I've
wonder.
done that before.
I love that I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him guy.
That's Of Mice and Men spoof, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Lenny,
Lenny.
Right,
Yeah.
right. From Of Mice and Men.
Mhm.
Yeah. So good stuff. Thank you, Bon
Thanks,
Pourvu. I
Bon
appreciate your
Pourvu.
comments.
I wonder why Bon Pourvu has had the name Slapsy Maxie Rosenblum in their head. Maybe you can follow up, Bon Pourvu. What happened to you? Why was Slapsy Maxie Rosenblum in your
Well, I
head?
think
What happened to you?
it's one of those rhyming names, and once
Yeah,
you
it's
see
great.
it's just gonna stick in your head, you know.
Yeah.
There's a story.
But I've had cases.
We need to seriously. We need to know.
Okay, that's it. And we love our feedback. So plenty of ways to stay in touch. Please send feedback to feedback@gruesomemagazine.com, or you can leave comments on Gruesome Magazine's YouTube channel, or Gruesome Magazine's HNR and DOH podcast Facebook group, or on the website, gruesomemagazine.com. You can find all the DOH episodes and more. There are written reviews. There are interviews. There are reviews of current movies. So check that out. I think that's it for this episode. We also have a Patreon, or for a few dollars a month, you can get our episodes the day after they record. It usually takes around 12 days to 2 weeks before they go public. So you would get them right away, plus other specials. All right, for 2 weeks, we'll be focusing on a specific film released between 1920 and 1969. Next up, chosen by Chad. What are we watching, Chad?
From 1955, we're going to do my favorite Quatermass film, The Quatermass Experiment.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yahoo! I was talking with Doc yesterday. I was thinking we should do a poll on who's people's favorite Quatermass actor.
This is one with Don Levy, right? Isn't that who you like?
Yeah,
that?
he does the first two.
I know which one Nigel would not vote for.
And then there's the three movies that everybody knows about. There's another movie later on.
Yeah,
it was also a BBC series that had different actors.
Quatermass Conclusion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited that we're gonna do these, but I wanted to watch them because I only know the one that we did.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna do, or if Doc wants to do it, Doc has the pick after this, and then the pick after that, I decided we should just go ahead and do Quatermass 2. So
Yeah.
if Doc wants to do it instead, so they're closer together.
So we'll have done 3, 1, and 2.
Yes.
Wow.
In that order. Because
people with OCD are just like,
what are you doing?
What's wrong with you?
This movie has the greatest, that one character, that guy, that is the greatest. I mean, he's on all the Blu-rays and everything, and he's like the Walking Dead kind of. The guy's awesome. I feel like there was something else I was going to say, and I'll think of it as soon as I leave. So,
well, normally it would be good night, but
thank you all for adjusting the screaming time so I can eat pancakes with my adult granddaughters.
Oh, I love that you said it sounded like you said screaming time.
Yes, I thought that too.
Oh my God. Catch us here again in 2 weeks for another great horror movie of the classic era, as only decades of horror can do it. Thanks, Chad. Thanks, Daphne, Bill, Doc, and our group believers. Say good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
night, everybody.